Welcome back, everybody. So let's talk cryptocurrency for a second. It takes a lot of power, but how much power? Well, some digital currencies require more energy than is actually used by an entire country.
Yes, and with the explosive growth in the cryptocurrency industry in the recent years, there have been increasing concerns about the environmental damage and negative impact the industry is having on the climate. Greg Johnson, the CEO of Rubicon Crypto, is joining us right now with more insight. Crypto might be cooling off, you could say, these days. Jordan and I both have a little bit. We won't talk about that. Let's talk about how it heats things up, though, with crypto mining. First, what is crypto mining and why does it use so much electricity?
Stephanie, Jordan, good to be back with you. And you're right, there is a big controversy that's been brewing, and nowhere more so than in New York State, where I'm actually broadcasting from with you today. But the fact is, the entire industry is dependent upon electricity. First of all, it's dependent on electricity for generating the new coins. So many people are familiar with Bitcoin and even Ethereum. And it requires a tremendous amount of electrical capacity for the ongoing generation or mining of these coins. You know, 10 years ago, this used to be a do-it-yourself operation. I'll bet many of your viewers were actually participating in that in their garages and getting in trouble at the household. And now today, it's evolved into a major publicly traded industry with so-called mining farms all around the world. But the United States has been the leader, and that's what's leading to some of the controversy, especially here in New York.
Yeah, I remember Molly McCollum, her friends in college, she knew someone who mined Bitcoin, and then they lost the computer. Yeah, and they're like, oh, we put it away because at that time it wasn't popular, right? And so they're like, oh, this is just fun and games. But now it's obviously huge. You got big warehouses with terabytes of machines, and it's pulling energy. Can this somehow be good for the environment at all down the road, do you think?
You know, it's interesting you bring that up. Not only do I think it, I actually know it. The biggest irony of this whole debate is that the crypto industry is actually putting a spotlight on all of corporate America, really globally. But here in the United States, it's really putting a spotlight. Because the crypto industry is so transparent, because you can see exactly what's being consumed on the blockchain, it's forcing everyone to take note. Hey, I wonder what this other industry is consuming for power. And, you know, that's actually what the big rub is right now in the crypto and digital asset industry, is wondering who gets to decide what is the noble, or who gets to decide what's the use of electricity, who should use it, who shouldn't use it.
That's true.
And if we're going to do that, my goodness, we have a lot of other things we should be concerned about, wasting electricity.
Sure.
But could we use, you know, renewable sources, solar and wind to power, or is it not enough for these huge machines?
Stephanie, great point, because not only is the industry, crypto that is, using over 40% and climbing in renewables.
Wow.
It's setting a new standard for how other industries might use renewables. That's one of the other ironies that doesn't get a lot of airtime. Actually, the crypto industry is responsible for using a higher percentage of renewable sources of energy, electricity in particular, than any other segment. And it's forcing the others to step up their game, as it were.
So, as of right now, everybody looks at their crypto wallets and they say,
and cry.
Oh my gosh, what is going on? I'm going to ask you a silly question. Is it here to stay?
Yeah, it is 100% here to stay. What we tell everybody is, look, crypto and digital, it's early. It's like the internet back at the turn of the century. We only had 300 million folks in the whole network using the internet. If you think about how much that's evolved, we're at the same stage today with approximately 300 million members. It's long-term, Jordan, but what I would say to anybody listening, it's not just a long-term hold, it's the longest term. And I think folks need to reset their expectations and have patience and be deliberate about how they invest in it.
Okay. Greg Johnson, CEO of the Rubicon Crypto, thank you so much for joining us. And I know this is a little bit of a niche topic, if you will, because he mentioned Ethereum and the blockchain, and you might have to do a little research, you know. And I understand it to an extent, but what I do know is for these coins, like you said, they have big warehouses, and to mine the coin, they're using computer power to produce not an actual coin, a digital coin.
Right.
And that's where you have a lot of the problems.